Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the feature race at Gulfstream on Sunday. It's the Glitter Woman for 3-year-old fillies going 3/4 of a mile, carded as race number 9. Let's take a peek at this field. 8-5 on the one into Champagne, returning off about a 6.5-month layoff for trainer Ian Wilkes, but she sure looked good first out.
Yeah, she was really good winning her debut at Ellis Park back over the summer, though, Dan. Obviously, it's not a great sign that they didn't get at least a second start out of her off of that debut as a 2-year-old. But boy, if she comes back running in here, maybe they found a good spot for her.
Let's take a look at our Timeform US pace projector. The second choice on the morning line, the 2 Let Them Watch, exits a gate-to-wire win against stakes competition at Tampa Bay. She's already won 2 stakes in her career on the lead, and she figures to get it again.
Yeah, she could make the lead in here. I mean, I won't be surprised when she does. I don't have too much to quibble with as far as this pace projector goes, Dan. I thought those 4 horses they sort of have towards the front, one of them's going to be on the lead here.
Into Champagne, a daughter of leading stallion, perennial leading stallion, Into Mischief. You had a feeling she was pretty good. Ian Wilkes rarely wins first time out. This filly in a giant field at Ellis Park gets bet down to 2-1. Well, she was the goods. She lived up to the hype. 70 buyer speed figure. She broke really well. She tracked in between horses professionally, and once Leperoux got her into the clear with a 3-wide bid, it was all over. It was the faster division of filly maiden specials that day.
I agree with all that, Dan. I just really appreciated how handy she was in that race because she did break running in there, but they didn't really send her for the lead, and she was fine sitting off it. I like the way she finished it off through the stretch, too. It looked like she has a good amount of ability. We'll see if she needs one off the layoff.
That being said, she gives up the experience edge and the recency edge to the 2 Let Them Watch, who wired them in the Sandpiper at Tampa Bay. Her second start off a little bit of a layoff. Let's watch Let Them Watch, who popped to the front. These are some legitimate fractions. 22 flat, 44 and 1. She's going to get a little bit tired late, but she has just enough in the tank.
Yeah, she's going to hold on here. I'm with you. I thought she ran pretty well in this race. It's her second stakes win now. So, she's 3 for 4 lifetime. She's a 2-time stakes winner. She's got speed, but she doesn't have to be right on the lead if somebody else goes in this spot. It's hard to knock based on what she's done. She hasn't run a fast race yet. I guess that could be the only knock on her, as well as the fact that at least in the last, week or two, boy, this Maker barn's been ice cold.
She's one of 2 multiple race winners in the field, along with the Laurel Invader, the number 3, Kissed by an Angel, who won the Maryland Juvenile Filly Championship 2 starts back. But that was a race where she couldn't have had things any easier. It was a weak field. She got to the front, and they let her have it through a half and 48 and 1. Not the same situation against Open Company last time out in the Gin Talking. She didn't break very well, and the next thing you know, she was in chase mode. You might want to give her a mulligan for that race, but I still think the jury's out as to how good she is.
I'm going to agree with all that stuff. I mean, I'd be willing to give her the pass for the last one. After she sort of went up a little bit at the start, they just decided to rate her and see what would happen. And it wasn't a terrible performance, but she just didn't really make an impact there. I personally, though, just didn't like her prior 2 wins enough to really be interested in her in this spot.
Indescriptible is the number 4, very lightly raced daughter of Mo Heyman, making her 3rd lifetime start after a win at Gulfstream, going 5.5 furlongs. Indescriptible sits off of the pace, and she's going to grind down this horse on the lead. She's a big price in this race, and it's a big step up in class.
It is. I like the way that she did it in here, but it's just not a very fast race. Maybe this thing will set up for her, and she can make another run from off the pace in here and get a piece of this thing. I don't think I'd bet her on top.
Scootaloo, the number 5, returned from about a 5.5-month layoff in very good form, and she scored last time out in a maiden special weight at Gulfstream over a wet track. She just blitzed this field. She didn't have to go fast to do it, A. And B, every single other horse in this race is a first-time starter. So who knows what Scootaloo is beating, but she does have some gas.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to evaluate this performance. But if you just want to take it at face value, she showed improved speed. She stayed on well through the stretch. She earned a figure that's going to make her competitive with these horses. I mean, she's going to be a fair price in this race, it would seem, Dan. And she ran a race last time that would give her a real chance in here.
After racing 7 times overseas on the turf, the number 6 Launch showed up in Jorge Delgado's barn, and she launched to a maiden win at Delaware. It's just too good for this group. She dominated them on the front end as the favorite, and she went on to win as much the best. Now, the buyer came back light. They've given her plenty of time since this race to recover from the effort. Going to have to run a little bit faster, but she's got plenty of experience, at least under her hostler.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a very good field, but she wins this race for fun. And she was fast from the gate in this race. She broke from the rail. They went for the lead. A couple other horses went too, and she just outran them to the front and then had them all in full drives around the turn. I really thought she ran well last time, Dan. And it's just interesting when you start taking her apart. I mean, why did she wind up over in Ireland on the turf? Her pedigree is all dirt.
Caress completes this field for trainer George Weaver, a debut winner during the Belmont at the Big A meeting. She disappointed, I thought, in the Smart Halo, her stakes debut in her second lifetime start. She came back in this race, though, at Aqueduct over a sloppy track going 7/8, and she just got involved in a pretty hot pace battle all the way around the track. The winner of this race is pretty good. She'd come back to win a stake at the Fairgrounds with a 72 buyer. She's won 3 of her last 4, did that winner. Caress ran well in this race. I just think she's getting a completely different trip, tracking outside in the clear and not having to do the dirty work.
Yeah, that's probably all true. I mean, I personally didn't think she had an excuse in this race, and she's only second best in here. I don't know what to do with her, Dan. Her debut was fine, but I just thought it was kind of more professional than anything else, and I don't really love anything she's done since then. She's got a better post here. She might get a better trip, but I didn't like her that much.
Let's take a look at our top selections. For the Glitter Woman at Gulfstream on Sunday, we're both hoping that Into Champagne pops another one. Nice win in her debut. Could be any kind, has to deal with the layoff in the rail.
Worried about the layoff, but I do like this spot for her. I really liked her debut too. So maybe she'll just be good enough to go with these horses. If she's too short and I decide to take a shot against her, it'll be with the 6.
Yeah, launch very visually impressive. And again, Mike mentioned the pedigree. Maybe she's found her home on dirt. Mike's going 1-6. I'm going 1-2. It's the Glitter Woman at Gulf on Sunday. Best of luck.